I'm the honest coach. I coach girls on going from being nice to connecting with their softness in order to gain control over their life circumstances and relationships with men. So if you relate to a nice girl complex, what I mean by that is you separate off woo! You separate off from parts of yourself and you chase after a man who's pulling away from you. And you try to be whatever it is he wants so that you don't feel abandoned. And that it's a strategy that doesn't work. You developed it in childhood through attachments with your parents and other adult figures. And the strategy that works is connect with yourself and grieve the loss of the person who's pulling away. And I go into details that it's really not personal. They don't like closeness. You're going to be attracted to people who are only, that are not comfortable in relationships when you're in a nice girl complex. And they're going to make you think that there's all these things wrong with you and even you're clingy and needy, but it's not. They just don't like the way closeness makes them feel, and that's what they're reacting to. The most loving thing you can do is put all your interest back on yourself, because the more interest, when you started out, all the interest was on you, then they got your boundaries to come down, and then you started putting interest on them. When you started putting interest on them, on him, now he's pulling away and he's not interacting as much, or now he's pushing you away with criticism. Well, it's because your interest is on him and he doesn't like the way that feels. They don't like the way love feels. And you're going to be attracted to men like this when you're in a nice girl complex. And there's mathematics to all of that. So that's what I teach. However, I have mentioned before, so you want to connect with how you want to feel, and you put all your attention on yourself, and that will make him feel more comfortable. We don't ever take anything away from the nice girl. We remember all the reasons why she loves him, and we just say, he's not treating you the way you want to be treated, and so that's the line in the sand. So we don't participate with him unless he's going to be respectful and polite and treat you the way you want to be treated. Maybe you want to be treated like a goddess. Well, if he's not going to treat you like a goddess, he doesn't get to be in a relationship with you, but you still love him, and you can still communicate with him. You just are not going to get married because you want a guy who's going to treat you like a goddess. Right. So now you have boundaries and you're connected to yourself and you're in reality because you grieve the loss of something, instead of going into fantasy where you split off from all these parts of yourself and you chase after someone. With all that being said, I've talked about the burst. So the moment that he pulls away, you burst. You go into this panic mode and you burst, and all of your attention goes into all these areas. And I've said, you can fix all of those areas with doing, and it won't fix how you feel. But he could come back tomorrow, and he doesn't address any of those aspects, but they all go away just because he's back. So that makes you think, well, maybe there's something bigger going on. It's something to do with him pulling away. It has nothing to do with this. Back to the burst, the point of this. Now, I'm going to start gearing my content more towards relationships, men and women, and getting into your softness. But for a while, I've been going down this aspect of like what is happening psychologically, because that's just where my content has been at, and this is the information that I provide. And so this is where I'm comfortable sharing right now. But I'm going to start getting it back to the place where your attention is, which is on him, and getting his attention back on you by putting your attention on yourself, and we can make all kind of content like that together. But for right now, this is where I'm at. The burst. So there's the burst, and now your attention has gone into all these aspects. And if he came back tomorrow, all those aspects are calm and stable, and you're emotionally regulated. How? That doesn't make any sense. You didn't do anything. All of those areas, they're areas, all those locations, all those topics. He pulls away, and all of a sudden your attention bursts and you're panicking. Those are all the areas that you've been abandoned. Every trigger you have, when he pulls away and now you have all these triggers, those are all the areas where you've been systematically abandoned. It could just be one area, that would be great. My burst is like a firework. It's over 100 areas. So if you had caregivers that really utilized abandonment and annihilation to make you be in their control and be who they want you to be and do what they want you to do. If you had those kinds of caregivers that utilized abandonment and annihilation to control you, your burst is going to be 100 aspects. Those are all the areas where you were abandoned. So, again, same method. How do you want to feel? Connect with that, move in that direction. That corrects everything. But if you look at your burst, or you say, oh, I was triggered by this today, or I was triggered by this today, where you are triggered is where you were abandoned. Whether it was intentional or not, it doesn't matter. Where you are triggered is where you were abandoned, and connecting with supporting that part of yourself is what will make that triggering go away. That's a very deep conversation we're having right now, but I needed to share that. Blessed be.